Hi all, welcome back, Fields of Fire. Still the Normandy campaign. This is mission 3, St. George de la Parc, defensive. This is my part 6 and this is the first combat patrol when we were patrolling with 2nd Platoon and came across a minefield, which kind of put a stop to things. I decided that it wasn't worth the risk of moving through that and whatever. A few things come up. I've also had a few comments. I'll maybe go over them. Don't have an awful lot of time right now. Just wanted to try and get things moved on a little bit, because this is a bit of a wash, this mission, isn't it? One thing I started thinking was, if I don't complete the mission, which I'm not going to, I've decided I'm not going to attempt to try and go through that minefield. I don't think it's worth it. Am I still going to benefit from any experience? And I think I will. Going by what I read, there was, you have to complete the mission to progress to the next mission. However, these aren't a requirement. I mean, it does say the mission goal is you move up to the primary objective and then you move back. It says you must attempt the mission once with each platoon. Now, it's maybe not 100% clear in this mission book, but you don't need to complete it to move on. So we've resolved that issue, and I think even Andrew confirmed that in one of the comments that he made regarding my situation here with the mines. But we do get some experience for certain other things, and we've actually completed 2 HQ events now. Unfortunately, I thought I was going to grab, hopefully eventually grab one of their casualties, or maybe even 2, but then they got an event to take that one away. Perform a successful grenade attack, that's not going to happen. But we can occupy and secure 1 root point card, which that being the one. My assumption is, and I said that at the start, I'm pretty sure I don't get the credit for securing 0.4 because it's the same card, and I think that's another downside, if you like, to coming back on the same route that you went up. So I don't think I get an extra couple of points for that. So it's not that I'm going to get an awful lot, but you never know, I might also get another HQ event. Well, I'm going to play through the 10 turns, but what I thought, once we get any kind of enemies out of the way, what I think I'd be best doing is just, probably, it's not something I've ever done with my recordings, but just play it off camera rather than bore you with the draw a card, do nothing, sort of thing. But I'll continue and then maybe press record again if something crops up, like an event kicks in or something. Still not 100% sure if I've got to just get back to this. I mean, I think Andrew maybe misspoke when he said that move back to the staging area and just come and then just wrap the mission up. I want to say that getting back to this farm, or row 1, should we say, should be good enough for it. That's what I'm going to do anyway, because I don't think the staging area is actually in use in this mission. But I just think he misspoke and meant row 1. I could be wrong, but if you want to confirm that, Andrew, by all means. But okay, so that's the dog wanting out now. We've just got up here. How long have I recorded? 4 minutes. If I take her down, she's going to whinge. Right, I'm going to go and take her down though, because I can't listen to that. Right, give me a sec. Right, okay, so I'll just kind of quickly go through this. I think I tried to speed up a bit last night, didn't I, when I realised that we weren't going to do that much. And these units were kind of stubborn, weren't they? They stayed pinned. I was like throwing all this artillery at them, and I've managed to avoid all the damage from it. I mean, I dare say we could just move back into here. But first platoon's engaged with these, so we really need to kind of clear them away, I think, before. So I'll just bash on here. A couple of things. I noticed an error, and I'm going to have to watch with this and whether it was anything to do with me not putting my wee blue cubes up I don't think I can use that excuse, because recently I also did the XO and it had the blue cube on it, and I drew a card for it in an initiative segment when it should have just moved up one command. Well, I done this in part 2 with it would be 1st and 3rd platoon. I drew a card from them and I looked at the big number on the helmet. It did not matter at all to 1st platoon at the time. To be honest, it's probably irrelevant, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to knock 3rd platoon down by 1. Because when I noticed with 1st platoon, I gave it 5 commands instead of 4, and then it was only able to save 4 anyway, and it had done nothing. It's probably irrelevant me doing that with 3rd platoon as well. Because, to be honest, now I'm going to have to draw a card and get it back up to 6, because I'm not going to do anything with it. So it's... But I did notice that mistake. What was it? That was really all. The only other thing I was wondering about, I'm just glancing at that just now, was my assets. As in my capacity, transport capacity. Because I chucked the handheld illuminations into the platoons, but... So each point of transport capacity gives a unit the ability to carry the following. An infantry step. Yeah, see, an infantry step, it can carry 6 assets, radios. Well, actually, I've got 7 there then, haven't I? Plus any other ammo. So it is up to 6, and that's including a radio. Okay. But let's just say, right, because when I realised that what we should have had with us, it's a glary bit that, isn't it? It's coming in the window. What we should have not bothered having with us was all the smoke, all the colour smoke. So although that's 7 assets there, 7 assets there, it's only 6 there. Well, you know what? I'll take that red smoke away and I'll take that yellow smoke away from him, and then they've got 6 assets each. Because the colour smoke's not of any use to us at night, so there's no real point having the purple or the green there as well. But I'll just leave them. So that does take it down. I did wonder about the capacity, but I think that's okay. I mean, okay, I was illegal there for the moment, but you could see when I knew that the smoke didn't matter, I clearly would not have brought it with me when I found out about that handheld illumination. So we're all good, right? Shall we move? Yeah, like I say, there is a few comments out there, but I'll get around to them when I've got a bit more time. Right, so it is just moving into turn 5. So yeah, I'll carry on showing this because it's still relevant at the moment. So that's for a friendly higher HQ event. There's none of that. I'm not going to show you the commands. The COHQ at the moment's got its complete 6. In fact, I'm going to go through the motion. I'm going to draw a card, whatever it gets. I'm not going to do anything with it. It's just going to save it. I know, this seems silly. I know. I'm a completist. I like to do it all kind of properly and whatever. Okay, so... sorry. Yeah, I drew for that. Right. Yeah, and he wouldn't be able to activate anyway. So... yeah, so we've got all initiative impulses. The only one that we're really interested in 2nd platoon. So let's draw a card for them. They've got their 2 saved. What are they? Undercover, but they're green, so they were getting no modifiers there, so they're only getting 2. So that gives them 4. And they just want to do the same thing again. Call fire. Basically, just try to take this out and stop it firing into there, I think. We've still got... I think we've used 2 of our missions, haven't we? Yeah, I used 2 of them, so we've still got 2 left. In fact, no, we've got more than that, haven't we? Because we've got the other one. So we'll call for fire. It's a 3-card draw. Looking for the burst icon. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Just that a little bit. Right, I got a battalion 1 again. Oh, twice. Right, okay, that was a definite hit, wasn't it? So we've got that battalion 1 again, which means that we can target this again. The thing is, though, I don't want to do this, I don't think, because I've realised that he's just going to fall back. Because while he's got a... oh no, hold on, though. When does that happen? No, that happens. That happens before the fire mission update anyway, Grant. Capture. Now, what is about is a retreat segment. Retreat any unpinned. Yeah, and this is the one bit that I found out that was relevant to a pending fire mission marker. However, I'm not going to go back there again. Andrew has said that in 3rd edition, it's clear, or yeah, the pending fire mission are not FOFs, right? So he's made that quite clear. So that's fine. So retreat any unpinned Paraways. Oh, it's unpinned under VOF. Why am I thinking, if ever that's pinned, can it retreat? Why am I missing something here? I feel like I've been able to retreat these before. Paraways teams. Retreat any unpinned Paraways team under a VOF. Oh, so we kind of do... Well, that is going to happen, Grant. Yeah. Because it is under a VOF just now, because the incoming does count as a VOF, obviously. No, but he's not unpinned, Grant. Okay. Right, you know what? We're going to do it. We're going to call the fire in on here, because we've got the battalion one again. We're going to do the same again. Why not? I'm going to throw it. Now, if I run it, I thought I had 4 markers out, because I've been using quite a few of them. I'm not seeing... Yeah, there it is. So we're going to use the battalion one again and pick that as an adjacent card. We can pick up to 2 that are adjacent. So that cost me 1 command, and I'm not doing anything else, am I? Well, mind you, the last time you were concentrating fire, weren't you? Is this still this fire team? Yeah. And what is he setting? He's setting at +2, +3, and we give him -5. No, we give him -5, but we've also got a crossfire, so it's a -6 plus. Yeah, it's hardly worth the ball. Well, we'll just do it again. We'll send 2-2 platoon all with concentrate fire. It's a 3-card draw because he's veteran, and that gives us the full what we need. Well, that's a no. That's a yes. That was a no. So it's not a critical, which is fine. And because it's not a critical, I'll just leave it at the side, and that'll be my way of doing it. If it is critical, I would put it right on top. Again, it sounds like they've got new markers for that as well. Oh, and Andrew did, one of the comments, just while it came through my head there, he did confirm that there are markers for these targets. I'm guessing that we only have these ones and don't have the World War II ones. I think that's maybe what he's commenting about. So they will be in the deluxe edition, I think. I think that's what he was meaning. Right, that cost me another command down to 2, and I'm just going to save the other 2. Right, and then I'm just going to activate 3rd Platoon HQ, and I'm going to save whatever that was, and that's him back up to his maximum of 6. He's doing nothing. First is not going to do anything either, then, is it? No, because I can't cease fire, because we thought about that before. So it does mean he's using up ammunition, but we get to refresh that in between the patrols. So I'll just draw a card from to. I don't care what he's getting. What he's getting is he's just saving his 4. I don't even need to draw a card, but I'm doing it. And then EXO will gain 1 because he's veteran. And the first sergeant would gain 1 and save 1, but he's not got any space to... You can only save 2. And then I'll draw that for general initiative, and then that'll be that. Okay. Right, so enemy higher HQ event. There is not one. Enemy activity, well, we do need to go through that again. So, okay. Well, actually, we've got 2 enemies. We've got to randomise between this and this. So that the top one's a 1. It is that one. So it's a Paralyzed team that is pinned. Paralyzed team that is pinned and not undercover. So it's pinned, not undercover. It's a 5 we are rolling on. We get a 3. Pinned, not undercover is a 3. Is move into or seek cover. Okay. So can do that as a paralysed team, can it, Grant? Right, hang on. Well, it's just pinned we're looking at just now, but if it was just paralysed, see, it says it wouldn't be able to seek cover. Well, it says this state takes precedence over any of the lack limitations listed above, which means that it can attempt to seek cover. Yeah. Yeah, so fair enough. So I mean, if it was not pinned, it would not be able to look for cover, because it would just be a paralysed team. However, it's a pinned unit. Forget about what it is. It's pinned, so it can attempt to seek cover. It is, however, going to be green because it's a lat. So it's a 1-card draw looking for cover, and it gets it. How about that? Well, in some ways that's better though, because it's going to become exposed. So it finds, oh, yeah, it's just basic cover. Do we have one? We do. So that goes on, then the pin status. So he gets a +1, however, he also then gets a -2 because he's exposed himself. Yeah. Right, okay, and then the other one is the fire team. He is pinned and undercover, I think. Yeah, he is. So pinned undercover, which is just the one before, isn't it? Not on the same card. That's the one after. Pinned undercover. So on a 4, he's got a 3. Might be rally, maybe fall back. Pinned undercover is going to be rally. So he's going to attempt to remove the pin marker. So that's just a 1-card draw as well because he's green. Looking for a rally. We don't get it this time, so that's him. Okay, that was our enemy activity. Capture, no. Retreat, like I said, it's retreat any unpinned paralysed team, so that cannot happen because he is pinned. AT combat vehicle fire mission update segment. So remove existing incoming. So briefly, this fire team thinks about firing out the card, and then boom, that goes off and stops all that nonsense, nonsense that you had. And then PC potential contact evaluation, none of that. Pinned recovery, remove pin markers from any vehicle and units that are not under VOF. No, none of them. Combat effects. Right, so let's do the paralysed team first. So he's undercover this time, so it's +2 for the card, +1 for the cover there, +1 for being pinned, that's +4. Then he gets -2 for that, so he's down to +2, -5 for that, down to -3, and he also gets to be -1 on the card. So it is a full -4 for him. So here we go. Right, it's a hit this time. Although it's more the fire team we're interested in. Because this could end up, paralysed team, he could end up with a fire team result or something like that. Well, I suppose so could other guys, couldn't he? Right, so he's green quality, he's got a hit. Let's see what he's getting. Green. Yes, casualty. Good. CP. So he's a casualty. So that might give us another point. A casualty in the back, maybe? Yeah, we do. Now he was under the cover marker, Grant, still. I'm going to take the pinned and the exposed off because it's kind of irrelevant, isn't it? Okay, so result. Yeah, I think in the next capture segment, let's say that's going to be an unoccupied card with a casualty on it, and we will get to capture that. Still seems bizarre, that one. Why don't I once and for all maybe just go and ask that question? I kind of felt like Andrew would have picked up on it by now because I mentioned it that many times. I don't think I went and asked it though, did I? You know what? I might just chuck it out there. I don't think Andrew minds the daft questions. I think he quite likes answering all these questions, I think. I'm sure he does. Right, give me a second. Okay, I was just in the process of asking my question, and then I was going to copy and paste a bit out of the rule book, and I noticed something. Right, where's... Oh, I've took that up to the computer. Hang on. So it doesn't say it in the sequence of play here. Or actually, sorry, I take it back. It does actually say it in the sequence of play. Well, okay, right. It says enemy casualties on unoccupied and friendly occupied cards are captured. As per 8.15, we're going to look at that in a sec. Enemies do not capture casualties. Right, but as I was going into the rulebook, I thought, well, we want to go into the full bit, 3.51. And right here, which I never took note of this before, but it's not been relevant until this mission here. Any enemy casualties on unoccupied or friendly occupied cards are automatically captured and do not require guards. I've read that so many times, okay, because I've came into here to read it. Did I read the exception? Possibly, I would like to think so, but anyway, the exception says casualties in front of the MLR on unoccupied cards are not captured, and then it refers to 8.15 again and finishes off with the enemy never captures friendly casualties. Well, we have an MLR in this mission, so it might not have been relevant to any of the offensive missions that we've had, but we do have a main line of resistance here. So anything in front of that that's unoccupied is not captured. We would have to be on the card to capture it. So there you go. That's that one resolved. And the fact that sounded weird that we could capture that guy when we're not going anywhere near it, is probably sorted there. However, I would still find it if in the normal, and remember we can't have that because this would normally be the line of departure for an offensive mission. So don't think you can have this in an offensive mission. I might be wrong, but I think that's for patrols and possibly defensive missions. So it still does leave the question a bit still strange to me that let's just say there's a casualty way up on that card there. We've chosen not even to bother going on to the card. We've just left that potential contact because we didn't need to go into it to complete our mission. We've managed to hit it with some fire from outside the card. We've turned it into a casualty. And in that phase, it sounds like we could capture it even though it's unoccupied. However, not while it's in front of an MLR. So there we go. So my question can be put on hold there. And I'll just leave the other bit there until it maybe comes up again. Right, well actually this is a bit more bizarre, is it not? Because this is capturing enemy casualties. In an offensive mission or combat patrol, enemy casualties are automatically captured if their card is unoccupied, no other enemy units or PC markers. There's a PC marker on that. Or friendly occupied at the end of the mutual capture and retreat phase. However, combat patrols have a main line of resistance. So in a defensive mission, enemy casualties are automatically captured if they are behind the MLR in your territory on an unoccupied or friendly occupied card, in front of the MLR in enemy territory on a friendly occupied card. So that must... but then we do have an MLR, don't we? Was I wrong in setting that up, maybe? Maybe I was wrong in setting it up, but I'm sure I must have read it somewhere. So defensive mission TCM, main line of resistance. Have I just kind of made a mess of that here? No, hang on. Defensive missions allow combat outposts, but this is a patrol, right? Oh, hang on, here. Otherwise, alright, combat patrol missions use 1 linear TCM, the main line resistance, yeah. Which marks the point from which the patrol sets out from friendly lines. Okay, well, there's something slightly off with that then. Because if the MLR is there, then that is wrong. It says casualties in front of the MLR on unoccupied cards are not captured. 8.15. That's 8.15.1. That's the one that's... However, yeah, I mean, it is as if it's a defensive mission, but according to that, when you go to 8.15.1, that doesn't apply to a combat patrol, so... Yeah, not sure if there's a sort of glitch there, possibly. Possibly that should just say that. Or, then again, it might just be that, look, you just go to 8.15.1, and then, let me get there. There we go, that was pretty good. Then when you get there, you see that in a defensive mission, if they're behind that. That kind of leaves you, if you're just looking at that rule at the beginning, though, lets you think that you wouldn't be able to capture one in a combat patrol, but it looks like here it is allowing it. So it's looks like a slight contradiction to me, but maybe it's just me. Okay, well, it doesn't matter to us here anyway, because I forgot that there's a potential contact marker on that, and that's part of the deal. So that's not captured. Not going to be captured. Right, can we move on, Grant? I think we're going to attack this guy now, weren't we? So it's just, if they are casualties, then we can relax and just finish this off. And I'll probably finish it off myself and just not show you the recording because it's just going to be boring. Right, so attack on this. We've got 1 for the cemetery cover, 1 for his own cover, +2, 1 for being pinned, that's +3. +3, and the concentrate fire wasn't critical this time, so +3 -5 is a -2, -3 for that, well, adding it on is a -3, and adding the crossfires a -4. So it is the full -4 for this as well, and we get hit this time as well, good. So he is green. Oh, look at the veteran in the line. And we get a paralysed team for the green step. That was a bit of a bummer. Okay, so well, at least he's not a fire team anymore and cannot fire at us, and we can probably just now go about our business. Let things get on with it. So that comes out of there, that goes into there. We have a paralysed team that is pinned and still undercover. I've got that round the wrong way, wasn't I? I wanted to do it that way, that's right. Okay, right, that's the combat all done, and then we deal with ammo. Again, we had most of our stuff found, so that's another artillery mission. We've got 1 left on the 15th Field Artillery Battalion anyway. Second weapons must have fired again, and that is a mortar out of ammo. So he gets an out of ammo counter, I think. Yeah, because he flips into 2 steps, doesn't he? Yeah, so he gets an out of ammo, I believe. So now he can still fire with small arms at close range. And then there was a heavy machine gun. In fact, no, both heavy machine guns. We've got 1 there, and then the other one's in there. So both of them fired. One's got 2 left, one's got 3 left. The Germans didn't do anything. Clean up. There's nothing, yeah, concentrate fire marker, that's the only thing to remove. Back at casualties, no. Enemies firing at cards without valid targets, no. Adjust VOF, PDF, still the same. On to turn 6. Right. I'm just going to move this back now, I think. The thing is, I can't really move this away. It's just going to continue to fire, isn't it? But yeah, okay. Right, just draw a card, Grant. Right, so higher HQ event. Oh, we get one. Well, that's good. Well, or is it? If it wants us to move forward, we're going to have to move into there. Yeah, that's true, I think. Okay, so friendly, this is a friendly event. So what do we get from a 10? We get a 5. Which is trouble in the flank, no forward movement allowed this turn. Right, okay, that's fine. That's not a biggie. It's not something we have to do. We cannot move forward this turn. We were not intending doing that. Right, so I'm going to just go through the motions, draw for the HQ, not care about it. Draw for the second platoon on the small number. Was I doing that? Was I using the small numbers? I think I was, wasn't I? So it's a 3, you get a +1, -1. So it is a 3 he's getting. So he's actually got 5 commands. I'm going to just platoon move back to here, under the cover beside the COHQ. Am I? Yeah, sorry, that should have reduced now to automatic weapons because our mortar finished. Yeah, I'm gonna platoon move back to the farm. We're not gonna be doing anything else. I'll let that continue to fire on the paralyzed team and see if it gets. The problem is the moon condition is going to come into it and probably keep it alive, isn't it? Well, actually, why don't I call one more out incoming and then move? Yeah, let's do that. I think I can do that. I don't need to stay on the car. I think I can move after I've called that in. So I'll take one command to call fire on that card one more time. And it's a 3-card draw, looking for a burst. There we go. What if you got a short, Grant? That would waken you up, wouldn't it? Right, we've got it anyway. We've got away with it. So, pending fire mission yet again on that, and then I'm going to use another 2 commands to just move back under that foxholes into the farm. Right, okay, and then when we moved away, this PDF would come away. That doesn't affect that incoming, I don't think. The crossfire also goes away. So we'll move back here, under the same cover, the foxholes as the COHQ, but obviously the whole platoon is exposed, the COHQ is not. Yeah, so draw for first platoon, who's veteran. No, he's not. He's lying under cover, so we get a +1 to the small number 3. I'm starting to worry about that. I'm like getting that wrong at times. I need to watch that. Just because I'm trying to rush through this, I suppose. So he's got 7 commands. You could say 4. Yeah, it's just because I think I might concentrate fire with something just to get that same effect, because we've lost the crossfire now as well. So we're going to get +1, +2, +3, -5. So he's only sitting at a -2 actually. So first platoon, has he got any veterans? Second and third squad are veterans. So I'm going to use second squad, give him a command to concentrate fire. So it's a 3-card draw because he's veteran. That's yes, no, yes. Okay, that's good then. So that ignores the cover and places concentrate fire. Oh, that was clever, Grant. I nudged the plexi there. Are we okay? Yeah, I think we are. Concentrate fire, and because it's a critical one, I'll just put it on top. So that gives him an extra 2 -2s, does it not? Does that not take it to -4? I think it does. I'm just going to leave it at that. He's going to save, well, he can't save 6, he can only save 4. So that's him done. third platoon HQ is going to just draw a card and just save. And the XO can gain 1, the first sergeant won't. And general initiative, we're not going to use it. And right, so enemy higher HQ event, there is not one, good. Right, enemy activity, so he's pinned, paralysed, isn't he? Is that right? Yeah, pinned, paralysed, undercover. And that's a casualty now as well. So pinned, undercover is the ones that we're looking at before. It's not on the same card. Pinned, undercover, so on a 4, he gets a 2. Pinned undercover on a 2 is no action, okay, he's doing nothing. So then we're moving on to capture. Yeah, we can't capture because we need to be on the same card. And then retreat, it needs to be unpinned paralysed team. Right, none of that happening. So write down the fire mission update segment. This comes away, and this comes away, and that flips into a new incoming on -5. So then potential contact, none of that. Pinned recovery, none of that. Right, and then we do combat again. So it's, he's not getting the -1, no. So +1, he's not getting his cover, remember, because of the concentrated fire critical hit. So it's just +1 and then +1 for the pinned. So +2, then we get -1, -6 onto +2 as -4. That doesn't count, remember. Right, so -4. Let's reshuffle cards, so we draw before we shuffle. -4 is a hit. So we've got a hit, but I need to reshuffle, so give me a sec. Right, all shuffled up. So hit is a green unit. Yes, that's exactly what, well, double C was, that's a nasty card, for that side of it anyway. The thing is, that, look at that card for the hit side of it, look, -4's a miss. Everything's a miss. Right, so anyway, that is a casualty now. So that pin marker can go away. He is going to be undercover. Casualty on that side. Again, no. Well, this is a grey area then, this one, isn't it? So this does leave me asking the question. Well, I'll get to that in a second. Let's finish the turn. Well, what I mean is, we've got a casualty that doesn't have a PC marker on it, which is in front of the main line of resistance, but this is a combat patrol mission. So, that, like I say, there looks like there's a slight contradiction. So maybe there is still a question to be asked there. Right, anyway, let's get the end of the turn, combat effects, update the ammo. Yeah, okay. Well, that's all we're going to do now anyway. So that was our last artillery mission. That is now the second weapons out of ammo. Did we not have another out of ammo marker? Where is he? Is that the one in there? No. Oh no, he didn't fire. He went away. Second weapons. No, it's a machine gun, Grant. Must be here. Yeah, it is. It's on here. So yeah, so he didn't fire because he moved away in time. We just fired the artillery, called for fire and then moved away. So he didn't spend... Alright, I've rubbed that out. That's not... Grant, it doesn't matter. Come on, stop it. And then one of the heavy machine guns fired then. 1-1 fired. Right, so he's only got 1 ammo left. Well, we can just cease fire and be done with it. Okay, going up, concentrate fire comes away. Nothing else. That exposed marker there comes away. We move on to turn 7. I'm just going to keep going to the point where I need to ask this question. Okay, so friendly HQ event, no. COHQ gets some commands and saves them. Second platoon gets some commands, saves them. Third platoon does the same. See, this is a bit I was just going to like pause the recording and not go through it. First platoon is going to get some commands. He's going to get the small number of 2, but he was a line undercover, so he gets a +1 to that, so he gets 3. So he's got 7. It's just he's going to just call a ceasefire, I think. Yeah, so he calls ceasefire because it's just a casualty on that, so he won't reopen fire on that, and he's just going to save whatever he's allowed to save. 4, wasn't that? And then the XO. Actually, the XO and the first sergeant will get 1, but they'll just need to go back and back 1 to save enemy. So none of that all happening. General initiative draw. I've drawn a card, not doing nothing. Enemy higher HQ event. Right, no. Because I think, well, I've already said I don't think any of them matter. I think our ones could maybe matter. That's the thing. But I don't know. I don't know if you can call this early or not. Or maybe I'm just being, you know... maybe it's, you know what, it could be clearer in the new mission books that, look, you can call this mission whenever you want because you don't need to complete it. It might be clear. I don't know. I always remember reading that if the mission was 10 turns, you had to go the full 10 turns because something could happen. Didn't matter if you were finished or not. Anyway, enemy activity, there's none to do. So I'm now at the point where enemy casualties on an unoccupied card are captured per 8.15. So now I need to know, do we capture this or not? So there's a question, because that could give me an extra point is all. So I'm going to go and word that question. Well, let's cycle through the turn. Give me a second. Right, so then we would... So I'm not sure I'm capturing this or not. If I am, I'll get it. Then it's fire mission update. This will come away, right? So now there's nothing really left on the map. We've got mines up here, but we're not... That's what stopped us on our tracks anyway. There's no potential contact. There's no pin recovery. There's no combat effects segment. There's no real cleanup or adjusting of EOF. There's nothing to do apart from move the turn marker on to turn 8. I'm going to go and ask that question, and then what I'll do is I won't record turn 8, turn 9 or turn 10. I'll go through the motions myself, and then I'll press record again. To be honest, Grant, it is really silly because nothing... Well, apart from the events, like I say, apart from me drawing an event, I mean, what if I drew... Right, we looked at them already, right? So just, I know you're saying, nah, just stop the game, Grant, stop it. If we draw one of these... Well, if I drew that, I get myself a point. This is what I'm seeing. If I drew that, I've got to move something forward. I mean, I can't do that this time. So I suppose, well, if you can't do that, you can't do that, Grant. Unless moving the second platoon back up to the Orchard Grove counts as moving forward, but I'm not so sure it does. However, I would be happy to spend 2 commands from the COHQ to gain another point. Again, all these things could be clarified later when the new mission books are. I'm sure a lot of these things are going to be maybe straightened out and explained that if you get to this position you don't want to carry on, or you can call it early if you want. Maybe I'm not allowed to benefit from points for these. Maybe also that because I've not completed the mission, I'm not entitled to any of the experience points here. It's a bit, I don't know, I'm not sure. I'll keep that in mind, and I will watch the experience that I obviously I'll look at the change between how the patrol comes out of it in the end, and if somebody tells me I couldn't have gained any experience because I didn't complete the mission for some reason, or for instance, shall we say, then I can rewind that and take the experience back off. But I'm not reading anything that says that. That's the thing. Okay, I'll go and ask my question, then I'll cycle through to the end of the turn, and then we can come back and maybe one of the other platoons can make a better job of this combat patrol. Okay, yes, I'm as well just going on pause, really. Okay, so I'll be back in a bit. Hi, alright, been away for a good bit, and I was, like I said, just going to wait and only record if something interesting happened, because we're not going to do anything else. And the first thing I do is I draw a card for a friendly HQ event, and I get a result. So I'm just going to quickly draw a card and look and see what we get out of 10. We get a 5. It says, actually I had that one the last time, do we not? Trouble in the flank, no forward movement allowed this turn. Okay, fair enough. I've not had an answer to my question regarding the casualty. So I don't know if it applies to combat patrols or not. So I'll wait and see just now. I'll just leave it there just now. Right, and then I'll just go and pause and I'll just cycle through this rather than bore you with what's to come. Okay, so cycled through a bunch of cards there basically. It didn't take me long to do it, but it would have been pointless showing any of that. And that ran through the last 3 turns. On turn 10, nothing else came up. It was really just in case an event came up. Again, I don't know, maybe you can just stop there. Maybe it'll say in the newer mission books how you deal with it at the end if you don't want to carry on, or again, maybe it's just common sense that you just stop and you don't bother with all that. But I've said, I kind of thought you have to run these things for the full 10 turns, and if some event could come up, maybe, Anyway, nothing else happened. Not sure about this point that we're getting, so let's just check. And this is assuming that we are getting points. So I've got a note here, 2 times events. So that's what we actually done. Oh, you know what I've Right, let me take back some foolishness. I need to have a unit here, don't I? Let's just say, sorry, hopefully you're alright with us. Let's just say that that would have been a platoon move though, Grant. Well, let's just say we ordered somebody to go back into here, into this cover marker, right? This guy. In fact, I'm not even going to put him under the cover, because then I might just... I know he's there. Because clearly I want to occupy this as well as having it secured, which, to be honest, means occupy, doesn't it? I think occupying clear is secure, but the word in all this, again, hopefully will be cleared up come the new edition of it as well. Yeah, so I should have done that. That was just a bit of a blunder. So let's see what points that we do get. Well, did we secure the primary objective? No, we did not. Do we occupy it? No, we do not. Secure a route point card. Well, that's just what I've backtracked and done. So points for securing a card in addition for points for occupying it. So we've got it secured and we've got it occupied. Is secure not occupied? Do I have to look back in this again? Page 8. A secure card is a cleared card that is also friendly occupied. The card is cleared if it is one that started the mission with a PC marker and has been cleared of both marker and enemy units. So, yeah. Secure means occupy as well, so... hold on. Yeah, I did realise that when I read it before. It could be that you could occupy the route point card but not have it secured. That could be possible. Yeah, because for instance, we could have took a chance, put somebody up in the minefield to occupy the route point card. However, it would have been cleared as well, wouldn't it? Maybe I should have took a chance for that. It would have given us an extra 2 points. Anyway, we've got 1 root point secured and 1 root point occupied. So we've got 2 points for that. Well, 1 point each. So 1, 1. And then capture enemy prisoners. No, I'm going to have to decide about the casualty now, though, haven't I? Capture enemy casualty. I'm not sure if we're getting that guy or not. Performance successful grenade attack. No. Complete HQ event marked with an asterisk this turn. Yeah, we done 2 of them, and there was no thing was cat. So I've got only 4 points, but I might have a 5th one because of the casualty. So we'll put one more down and put a question mark to that. Now we need to see what happens in between now. 3.9 rings a bell. Indeed, 3.9, page 17, reattempt. And again, this is what we have to refer to it in between each patrol. So it's not that we've failed, well, I actually did fail that mission, but that's not the point of this for us here. It's just this reset to start the next patrol. The turn limit represents the cumulative effect of fatigue and consumption of small arms ammunition. After the final turn, if the mission objectives have not been achieved, both sides are exhausted. Offensive units fall back to secure positions to recover and then launch another assault. This is represented with a reattempt mechanic. Check if reattempts are available in the mission instructions and follow the steps below to prepare for the reattempt. Add up total experience points for the previous attempt. Now, yeah, okay. Note, keep track of points awarded for clearing and securing cards. You cannot receive experience points for clearing and securing the same card twice and the same mission, even in separate attempts. Well, there was a note saying that we were getting a point for clearing and securing, wasn't it? Is it clearing and securing? Securing and occupying, wasn't it? Anyway, rally any weapons teams, spotters and HQ and the fire team sides to a good order side. Right, I've none of that. We only took 1 hit and it was a casualty. So we do have a 2-step squad. We got 1 hit and it became a casualty. So reconstitute squads, HQs and company weapons teams, not attachment, from LATs, regardless of where LATs are currently located on the map. Well, I've no LATs, and in fact our casualty got removed, didn't it, because of their event. But we did have 1 casualty. Well, it depends if we get replacement steps, I suppose. Normally you get 6, but I don't know, this could be totally different. Note that the original platoon assignment of an LAT does not have to be tracked during the game. LATs can be used for reconstitution freely. Each LAT, including assault teams, counts as one green step during this sequence. Use experience points to promote any steps you want in order to upgrade your squads, HQs, staff, and weapons teams while reconstituting. Note that any step used to reconstitute an HQ or staff cannot be promoted. New HQs always begin a reattempt as green units. LATs removed as prisoner guards for related reasons cannot be used for reconstitution between attempts. Okay. Right, with none of that either. So, and then moving on. So we've not got any of that. Well, I'd say we've not got any of that to do. We do want to use these 4 or 5 experience points, depending on how we're going to look at it. We're probably going to have to make a call on that ourselves. Any LATs not used for reconstitution in step 3 become fire teams. Okay. Reposition friendly units to any secured cards, friendly occupied cleared cards. You may place them underneath any cover markers already on the card. Phone lines can also be repositioned to secured cards at this time if desired. I think we're just going to reset everything. I think I'm going to move the platoons about because, if I'm going to go and patrol with first platoon, they cannot be in the combat outpost to start with, so I'm just going to start them on one of the cars in row 1, and probably put second platoon into combat outpost. And then I don't need to mess about that when I come to run third platoon. If I carry on right through with that and don't get bored of it. Yeah, remove all casualties, friendly and enemy from play. Remove any enemy, paralyzed and litter teams. Leave any found cover markers or mines on the map. Okay. We had the well, actually, I'm not sure if we're getting that casualty. So the other casualty up the top, when we weren't getting. Sorry, I know you're not seeing that. I know we weren't getting that one because there was still a PC marker on it. I'm going to put that German casualty in the prisoners captured box just now till I make my mind up what we're doing. Leave any enemy unit that is under a cover marker in that cover, but place any enemy unit not under cover under the best cover available. Cover marker on the card was available for use. Okay, so there you go. Within the patrol, while we're doing the patrols, the enemies would actually hang around. Okay, I didn't know that then. Well, what have I just removed? It was just 2 casualties I removed, and it already said remove all casualties from play. However, if we had left any enemy units out there, they would have still been there. Flip any burning wrecks to wrecks. Remove pin, PDF, and VOF markers. None of that. Remove saved command points. Yeah, okay, I'm going to reset them. Resupply all assets and ammunition, friendly and enemy. Reset available fire missions to initial value. Remove any assets dropped on the map. Place turn marker on turn 1. Right, there's one bit that I've not got there. So, well, let's finish Grant. Start a sequence of play. Note that this may result in PDFs and VOS being placed immediately as per the basic combat principles described in section 6. As in, yeah, if there's enemies out there, you'll trigger that right away. No additional PC markers are placed. I thought we reset the PC markers. I'm sure it said that somewhere. No additional PC markers are placed. The spotted and unspotted status of all units remain the same. The offensive simply carries on from where it left off, and you attempt to take the objectives again. Sorry, I'm maybe not showing you that. Sorry, I zoomed in a bit too much. So I just read that. See the end of section 12 and the Fields of Fire starter guide for visual guides on how to reconstitute your company in between mission attempts. And that's it. Okay, well, there's a couple of things there. The PC marker, but I'm sure they got reset. I'm going to go back and look at patrols, but this is what you do in between, it said. And the one other thing, I've got a 2-step squad that's not been put back together. I mean, it didn't give me any way of replace. I mean, we didn't have a LAT. We had a casualty. Reconstitute squads and company weapons teams, not attachment, from LATs. I mean, a casualty is not a LAT, regardless of where LATs are currently located on the map. Each LAT, including assault teams, count as 1 green step. Well, that's a bit odd, I think. I mean, there's no talk of replacements there at all. It does say in the mission log that you get 6 replacements. Receive 6 steps after completing each mission. Okay, well, maybe the fact that we've not completed the mission yet, maybe we'll get these 6 steps at the end of the full combat patrol. I could only assume that one then. So that squad will stay 2 steps until we actually complete the whole mission. And that means go through it 3 times with each platoon. Now, I guess I could say, look, I'm not going to do it with other platoons. I'm not going to bother doing it. And then we go to the end of mission. Not a reattempt. We go to the end of the mission. We'd get these 6 steps. I'd put 3-2 platoon back together again. But I do need to use these experience points now. I wouldn't thought I could linger about with them. Well, I don't want to. I want to. I want to make my second platoon HQ line. That's only going to cost me a point, so I'm definitely going to be able to do that. I'm not sure what else I want to do. I've not looked. So what was the other thing was the bit about the PC markers. I'm sure I read combat patrols. Is there anything here? Yeah, there you go. Well, as under setting up for a new patrol, next patrol. So we like just jumping down to this bit is what we've just done. After each patrol, carry out the instructions in 3.9 to adjust the map in preparation for the next patrol, as if beginning a regular mission reattempt. Then, if we jump back to here, setting up for the next patrol. Some patrols have you set up a new map for each platoon you send. That's not the case here. However, the mission instructions indicate that combat patrols will be to be performed on the same map. Place new PC markers between each patrol, as these missions are assumed to take place over days and weeks. No PC markers are placed in the COP if one is in play. Okay, so yeah, that's a slight difference into what we have just read in the reattempt. That's fine, no, that's fine. Okay, so I'm going to assume that we're not going to get the replacement step until we finally complete the mission. And we can go to that stage in the rules to see. Well, the thing is, you're going to have dealt with an experience. All you're going to be doing is putting a replacement. Well, what if you get shot up even worse than that, though? Well, you're going to have some lats. It's not going to all be casualties, right? Is it? Okay. Right. So let's just check what we want to do regarding our platoon, our second platoon. So there's the state. Now it was 3-2 platoon that took the hit. So that's the third squad, and he was the one that was lying as well. That's a bummer. Mind you, would we have enough points? We've either got 4 or 5 points here, Grant. So I don't think you're going to get in and out of that. So right, well, we're definitely going to spend a point to upgrade the second platoon to line. In fact, no, I'm going to. Yeah. Well, you know what? This time I think I'm going to just score that out and put line just to show that we've done that within the actual mission here. Now that would cost us 1 point. Yeah, we still wouldn't have it. You would need 6 points to put that to veteran anyway, Grant. So that's fine. So what else have we got? What about our weapons then? The 50 cal was not with us. The first bazooka. No, we got the second bazooka with us. And the mortar section wasn't with us either. So to be honest, we can't do any with the other points anyway. Yeah. Oh, hang on. The first sergeant was with us. He's green. Yeah, we can upgrade him, surely. So that would be a point as well to line. So that's we spent 2 points. So in actual fact, I don't need to bother about that casualty if we captured it or not. The question's out there, so no doubt I'll get an answer at some point. Because even if I didn't get that, I've still got 2 points left, and I can't really do anything with them. I could look at the possibility of skills and whatever, but I'm not going to bother with that, I don't think. Yeah, and you can't upgrade, because we did have the second 1-2-1 heavy machine gun team, but that's an attachment. You can't upgrade them. I don't believe, anyway. Pretty sure that's right. Okay, so, well, it was a bit of a letdown, wasn't it? But there you go. That just shows you what can happen, and mines can appear. The thing was, even if we weren't going to be coming back through the mines, we were still in a stage where we had to put something else up into the mines to be able to go through it, to take the chance. But that's what minefields are about. But the fact that you're forced to go on your route points obviously that turns mines into a whole new thing. You know, I've never minded before going on mines, then you just leave it, you don't go on it again. So anyway, right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to reset things. I think I probably am just going to put, yeah, so he's got artillery actually. I'm going to put 2nd platoon under the combat outpost, and then I'm going to put I don't know. I'm going to set my route up, and well, maybe we won't do it coming back this time. Right, I'll get things set up. In fact, am I no better just leaving that until the next video, Grant? Get it set up for the next video starting. Some other things still to do. With the mine stays, the cover markers stay. We do need, I need a potential contact marker there and a potential contact marker there. And assuming we're leaving the outpost there, which I think we will, I'll not put a potential contact marker there. So this is going to have to be randomised between a B and a C, and so is this. And then objective is going to come away. We've got this target marker that we can put on something else. There's a cover marker there. The cover markers are going to stay. And then our route points, we're going to have to set up a new route. So I'm going to take them away. We're not going to be going through that minefield, for sure. And I'll set things up for the next attempt, and we'll just run it with first. We'll just run it with 1st platoon, and give them a different objective, a different route, and hopefully we can make more of it this time. Right, well, we're over an hour there anyway, so I suppose that does wrap it up. The one thing that was, do we adjust the +4 moon? That's annoying, because I think it was maybe a question I was going to ask, and now we're ready to start. See, it says randomly select. If it's over the space of 3 weeks, does the moon change over 3 weeks? I'm not really keyed up on how the moon works. I would think it probably does, but I don't know. Maybe not by much in 3 weeks' time. You know what? I'm guessing. I don't know. I need to look that up. Need to Google that. I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe I could just chuck a quick question out there in the hope that something comes back quick. Visibility moon, randomly select a limited visibility between +2 and +5. Because it does have an effect. I mean, we're still in limited visibility, no matter what one it is. But obviously the defence side of it, the cover side of it, is important if it's higher, obviously. Right, okay. Well, I'll work that one out and maybe pop a question out there. Right, I'll be back with the second attempt then sometime soon. Cheers.